According to Nelson Mandela, and I quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which one can use to change the world." End of quote. In context, Nelson believed that education was the first step for people to gain knowledge, critical thinking, empowerment, and skills they need to make the world a better place. Guyanese American Slater Jeffrey, Tuskegee University alum and veteran educator in Atlanta, Georgia, knowingly or not, demonstrated this perspective when in 1979 he defied all odds in pursuit of his dream, his education. He dreamed of attending Tuskegee University. He was eventually accepted to read for the bachelor's degree in economics in 1978. Mr. Jeffrey faced almost impossible odds to even leave Guyana and then to attend school at Tuskegee. Unrelenting though, his creativity, resourcefulness, and tenacity earned him his rightful place in the halls of Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama, United States. Mr. Jeffrey shared a bit of his incredible journey with Guyana Tapestry when we visited Atlanta, Georgia, where he resides.
Well, you know, I'm an alumni of Tuskegee University. Right. I completed a degree in economics. Awesome. Actually, I completed the 4-year degree in 3 years.
Really, you did?
Yeah. Because of affordability, I just carried a heavy load and made a sacrifice.
Right, wow.
And, you know, I got some exemption being a graduate of Guyana School of Agriculture.
Okay.
So I got that.
And which part of Guyana are you from?
Well, I was born in Vigilance. Sometimes I like to say I'm from Vigilance, Friendship, Buxton. You know, you say Buxton. Then I moved from there while I was still young when father transferred to Amsterdam. Okay. So I spent some time in Barbados. I completed elementary and high school in Amsterdam.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, then I moved from Amsterdam, went back to Buxton, and then I got my first job in the office of the Prime Minister as a district youth officer. I was just 20, 21 years old, and they sent me to Linden as the district youth officer for Upper Demerara River. So I was there for like 2 years.
Wow, so you did some service in there.
I did some service there.
And then tell us about the journey here in the US when you arrived, and how was that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was an interesting experience because I was a private student, yes. You know, you didn't have any support, so you had to find a way to get your support.
Okay.
So my first semester, right, went very well, and in fact, I decided to stay in Tuskegee at the end of the semester. In fact, I was able to get a job. I got 2 jobs, one with the Burger King, and then there was
financing your own education.
To finance my own education, and then at the same time they were doing a research on goats, and so all the students had left, so I had no problem getting the job to manage the goats.
To pay for school.
Yeah. And a cousin of mine, he gave me a bicycle that he was using. He didn't need, so I was able to ride and go down to the farm, and then get back and.
And this is in Alabama State.
It's in Alabama,
USA.
Yeah.
What year?
This was 1979.
Wow.
Yeah, 1979. Yeah.
And how did that evolve?
But
graduating, succeeding.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the dean's list. I was on the dean's list every semester.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was determined. And then after that's 1 year, I completed my first year.
Yes.
Then this summer, I signed up with a book selling company to get training to sell books. And joined some guys. We got a training in Tennessee, and there were like about 10 of us, Guyanese. Right. We paid we had to pay $10 for the room. All 10 of us stayed in this hotel room. One person signed up for there, all of us staying there to go do the training, right? And so we did the 2 weeks training, gave us like 2 days training. At the end of the training, you're assigned. You had about 500 students from all over the country come to Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, to do the training.
Mm-hmm.
and we were assigned to Norfolk, Virginia. We had 2 raggedy cars, and we drove them. The 2 cars went to Norfolk, Virginia. We got there about 9 p.m. the night. They gave us, they give you a map to show you how to get where you're going and who are the people you need to contact when you get there. So we got there at 9, we started calling people to see who going to put us up for the night. And this lady, I was the one doing the calls. And this lady said, well, we could stay there. And when we got there, she said there's no running water. The water cut off. So we can't use the restroom, we can't use the bathroom, but we can stay there for the night and we got to find somewhere the next morning. So we all bunked up in the room and left there the next morning.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we went out, get a little breakfast at the Shawnees, wash our face and so on. And then we started selling. And then that day I was able to find another place for us to stay. I got to one of the people I went to sell.
Yes.
She gave us a place to stay. And we were paying $10 a week. I stayed there some people dropped out, but I didn't drop out because I had a purpose. So I stayed there 19 weeks.
Really?
Yes. Right? And I sold $5,000 worth of books.
Really?
Yes. And I came back, I had enough money to pay for my semester now for the next semester. I sent 24 letters to family members to ask them to help me, and only 2 responded.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
So you really had a rough time earning that education.
Yeah. But at the end of my 3rd year, when I was graduating, I raised enough money to pay off I didn't owe the school anything. Yeah.
You made the sacrifice.
And then what I did also, I formed the economics club at the school. So we had a club, and then we made a tour to Atlanta University, to the Department of Economics. And I met with the dean and asked him, we had a good communication with him.
Right.
And I asked him if he can donate 3 scholarships to 3 of the students, which he did.
Really?
He gave us each $3,000 scholarship to cover the 2 years for the master's program in economics.
Really?
Yeah, and I had to deliver them to decide who gets them. So I took one and I gave a young lady one, I gave another guy, African guy one. But I didn't complete the master's. I did the 2 year, but I had challenges with the thesis and having to work and go to school, because I had to do 2 jobs I was in 2 jobs and going to school during the master's program. So I didn't quite finish the PhD, so I didn't mix it. But 9 years later, I went back to the same university and completed a master's in education.
Congratulations.
Major in social studies and so on. And also 3 years. I did 1 year for teacher certification.
So you were to do your master's in economics. Right.
So I had to shift from that.
Yes.
When I went back and did the education and did certification, so I can go and become a teacher.
Which you served.
Yeah, I worked as a teacher for 19 years.
Mr. Jeffrey founded the very first Guyanese Association in Georgia in 1982. At the time, it was called the Guyanese Overseas Action League, GOAL. He's maintained an active calendar over the years, always at the forefront of efforts to positively impact the lives of Guyanese throughout the diaspora and at home in Guyana. Driven by a sense of purpose in service to community, he still spearheads social and educational projects, both on behalf of the Guyana Association and personal community outreach and development projects, all aimed at coordinating people, material, and financial resources to benefit others. A graduate of the Guyana School of Agriculture, GSA, in Monrepo, East Coast Demerara, Mr. Jeffrey takes a special interest in projects to support local farmers through skills training, knowledge transfer, and other capacity building activities. But his initiatives touch lives in far more personal ways. Listen to Mr. Jeffrey tell us in his own words.
All these professional people were here already in Atlanta. So I was able to go and find them and meet them. And brought them together to form an association.
And what you said, what was that association called?
GOAL, G-O-A-L, Guyanese Overseas Action League.
Wow.
Yeah. And we did a lot of fundraising and we did a lot of social activity. In fact, they were calling me the mayor of Atlanta because I was able to find, when people come, I was able to find them a job.
Really,
and
network.
If somebody needed any legal service, I would go to Fred Jackson, right? And Fred would take care of them.
Right.
And if somebody needed medical service, medical service, I go to Dr. Lanju.
So what was it?
We worked as we had a network where we work with each other and help each other.
What was it that sparked your interest in bringing about?
But I was always an organization person.
Okay.
Since I was in high school, I was always president for some organization in school. In fact, when
responsible for bringing people
together.
So in these stories, I'm hearing a pull to service.
To service, yes.
Please share.
Yeah. So I always like to get involved in serving people and doing things for service.
What is it about that?
I don't know. It's it's a natural thing for me, And so in Atlanta, I encourage, I always bringing Guyanese together.
Encourage
collaboration and support and so on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still involved in work in Guyana.
I'm still involved in work in Guyana.
Guyanese, yes.
Yeah, I went down to Guyana last February. I was able to run into some other people who were involved in agriculture, and I put together the livestock farmers group in Buxton, and I did that from here.
Livestock farmers group. And what is the livestock
18 farmers in Buxton. There's some women who have cows and chicken and pigs. They have a few women farmers and some men, right? And they produce livestock, right? So we form a group, and
part of what you do is clear. There's a clear emphasis on bringing people together, organizing resources around
to make people self-sufficient and productive.
But why is this important? Why is this so important to you?
Well, I got a joy in doing that because I get a lot of satisfaction from doing and helping and servicing.
Service.
Yeah, my whole life is about service. In fact, after I got a heart transplant, it became even more necessary. So I've dedicated my life my rest of my life to service.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
I like to share my life experience with others because to let folks know that a little bit of sacrifice would make a lot of difference. Mm-hmm. And whatever they've been going through is not the worst of what others have been through. Mm. So there's hope at the end of the tunnel. Once you make the effort, you're going to get the reward.
Yes.
Right? And the harder you work, the greater the reward. Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
And just be humble and just be giving. Be a giving person. As you give, it comes back to you. And that's what been happening. Because like when I had to do the transplant, they would not have gone ahead with the transplant if I was not able to raise $10,000 and a foundation.
For your own transplant?
For my transplant. And then the foundation would double it to $20,000. Mm. So I had they had a fundraiser for me at the Guyanese Association building. Yes. Yeah. They had about 200 people showed up. And I raised $5,000 that night. People just put $100 here and the money just flowing. Right? To help me to make sure that I get a chance to get a heart so that I could live.
Live.
Yeah.
And keep doing this work.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Yeah.
Like with most other Guyanese I encounter while recording for Guyana Tapestry, Mr. Jeffrey and I hit it off instantly when we met. Seeming purely by coincidence, a spirited discussion ensued as he shared passionately his knowledge. Important history about the development and evolution of the Guyanese enclave in Atlanta, its surrounding suburbs, and elsewhere. And boy, is he a reservoir of knowledge. Mr. Jeffrey is committed to service, even in the face of some of his own physical and medical limitations. Whether it was the warm bowl of Guyanese-style ground provision soup on a rainy Sunday afternoon in the Peach State, or the fond memories he shared of his acquaintance with my grandfather, Pelham Van Kooten Sr. from their days in the Guyana National Service, Mr. Jeffrey is an article boxed man. But what commands my admiration for this big-hearted son of Guyana's soil is his tireless and unrelenting efforts to bring aid where needed in the community. Despite his frustration with some of the bureaucratic red tape and setbacks, Mr. Jeffrey insists on the necessity of the role of the extended Guyanese diaspora in Guyana's national development.
Yeah, but like you said, there are resources, rich resources,
in the diaspora. But at one time we were trying to put together a directory of all Guyanese and the resources that they have, but we never got that off the ground. There was a time when the previous government was trying to set up a diaspora office here. They never got that off the ground. And we were trying to make that office in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. We were doing it on our own to set up the diaspora community, right? Mm-hmm. And we were going to start reaching out to people, get all the skills and so on. Right, but we never got the support.
Never. No. From where? From the Guyana. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask, given your history in collaborating, coordinating efforts within the diaspora, working both with Guyanese in the diaspora outside of Guyana and Guyanese in Guyana, mm-hmm. What would you like to see done to strengthen that relationship between Guyanese and projects and efforts at home, and Guyanese and the resources in the diaspora?
You know, I think regardless of the government, right? Yes. There should be a determined effort to seek out the rich resource of the diaspora, to reinforce projects, particularly those that are community-based in Guyana. Because a lot of people still would like to go and make a contribution to Guyana.
Understood.
But they need to they need to feel welcome and to know that something is in place that is serious.
Welcomed in your own country.
Welcome in your own country, right? Because a lot of people had gone to Guyana and didn't feel welcome and had to come back, right? They didn't accept their service. I don't know what's happening now, but this needs to happen because we got the skills here, and they can make a lot of difference to Guyana. But one of the things that I've been doing is trying to get individuals here to go and do projects with small communities in Guyana, mm-hmm. outside of government.
Just build community bridges.
Community bridges, right? Community bridges. So we got some groups right now working in Buxton. We getting the Buxton Community Center going with computers. There's some guys from Maryland who are doing that.
Yes.
Working, I'm part of a group called the All God Little Children. I'm the secretary of that group. We just got approval.
All God's Little Children. Right.
We just got approval from the NBC.
Yes.
A month ago.
Okay.
To be our committee to be responsible for the community center. Mm-hmm. So now we can go ahead and start soliciting funds to restore the building
in Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And then,
big up yourself, Mr. Slater Jeffrey. As a son of Guyana's soil, your story, your journey, and your work inspire us all to serve, to give of ourselves in selfless service to our fellows. Thank you for opening your heart and your home to Guyana Tapestry. Thank you for sharing part of your own sojourn along life's proverbial yellow brick road. The journey continues, the work continues. And now for a word on selfless service. Oswald Sanders said, and I quote, "True greatness, true leadership is achieved not by reducing men to one's service, but in giving oneself in selfless service to them." Family. It is the most humbling of experiences to bring you these stories, and I've only traversed along the East Coast corridor of these United States. Meeting Guyanese and telling of our powerful and compelling immigration stories, stories of strength and resilience, adaptability and resourcefulness, triumphs and defeats, mistakes and redemptions, good fortune and loss. Thank you for continuing to watch and support Guyana Tapestry. I'm excited and I look forward to finding and bringing you more of these amazing stories of GT people all over the diaspora. But here, you gotta go to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel Guyana Tapestry. That's how we're going to grow and continue to share these stories with other Guyanese. Okay? Also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And it's at Guyana_Tapestry. That is at Guyana_Tapestry, however you say it. Like and share the videos. Drop in and share stories of others who, you think we might want to hear and share. Drop in and share stories of yourselves, your own stories. Give me the little tech ups. Come give me the little tech ups. Right here we're going now with y'all, man. Let's inspire. If you listen to Guyana Tapestry, let's inspire each other with the power and virtue in our own stories. So, until next time, family, my name is Pelham Van Kooten, aka Chico, creator and facilitator of Guyana Tapestry. And I is a GT, Papa Chico on the mic MC, chatting in the A, chatting in the B. And the ethos, the motto, the mantra is one love, baby. So y'all take care. GT, one love.
Go higher, go harder. We go up on the rough side. Never living on no high rise. Every day man work so hard to survive. I say money can't buy life. Them say you never get a taste of the high life. And you never get a hit in a the spotlight. Me still a give thanks when just sunshine. Me know say Jaja bless my life, my life. From your future look bright and you're rising up. Give thanks and praise when you're waking up. Hard when your corners look dark enough. Still up a one split for sparking up. Militancy we stand so all we a buckle touch and flambeau. Pick up every scheme and junction. In a Georgetown, Guyana